So good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you all are doing well. So we have gathered here for the webinar on unifying IT and SecOps through adaptive agentic automation from Secure Cloud along with Algomox. So before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce Secure Cloud Info Solutions to you. So Secure Cloud is a new age technology solutions company. We are into IT services and IT solutions, and we focus on automation of business processes, optimization of resources, and modernization of business processes with the help of our smarter digital solutions. So now what Secure Cloud does is we work with enterprises across different industries to shift them from their manual, time-consuming, and traditional processes to intelligent, secure, and scalable digital systems through our smarter digital solutions. And for that, we have a partnership we work very closely with technology providers like ServiceNow. But we have a partnership with technology platforms like ManageEngine, Algomox, Freshworks, DevRev. And these partnerships allow us to innovate continuously and allow us to give and provide enterprise grade and cutting edge technology solutions to make your digital transformation journey smoother and faster. So Secure Cloud Info Solutions work in 5 core areas like enterprise service management, IT service management, IT operations management, and IT assets management. And we also support enterprises by giving ESG and sustainability solutions. And we help in building end-to-end ESG and sustainability framework for them. So our USP is to automate faster and to make your digital transformation journey smoother and faster and make you adopt a trending digital solutions faster and easier. So what sets apart is our solutions are tailored and crafted as per organization's needs, each organization needs. So there is nothing like one size fits all. So that was all about Secure Cloud, what we do and what we offer as a Secure Cloud. So now for this webinar, we have Pushkar Kakade, who is Associate Consultant at Secure Cloud, and Anil Kuryakose, who is the CEO of Algomox. So, Pushkar, over to you. From now onwards, Pushkar will take you through this webinar.
I guess I'm visible right now. Okay. So thank you so much, Prachi, for that introduction. And very good morning, everyone. I'm Pushkar Kakade from Secure Cloud Info Solutions, and I have with me today Mr. Anil Kuryakos, who is the founder and CEO of Algomox. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining this webinar. It's a real pleasure having you all with us today. So today we'll be exploring how IT and SecOps can finally operate as a unified function using means of adaptive and agentic automation. So before we move ahead, let me just introduce you guys to a real-time scenario which many of us can relate to. Let us assume that your organization is midway through its quarterly release and suddenly, unknowingly, unwantedly, one of its important business applications stops running. Your customers are complaining, your developers, your support engineers, everyone is scrambled all over the organization, and your product manager, he or she is opening their laptop, and the only thing they're seeing are red dashboards everywhere. Sounds chaotic, right? If we try to focus on two of the main operations over here, which is the IT operations and the security operations, the IT team might look at it as a performance issue. They might think that the app server is heavily loaded with requests and it's just not performing well. The security team might look at it as a potential threat. Maybe someone is trying to attempt a DDoS attack on your app server. The possibility for both are true. Anyone could be the root cause. So this is something that is happening in organizations day in and day out. And this is something that we are going to discuss in today's webinar. So moving ahead, we've got on the agenda, let's just try to focus on establishing why the wall between IT and security exists. Moving ahead, we'll try to understand how this fragmented process turned into an agentic intelligence. Next, we're also going to understand the rise of agentic AI in AI ops. And to understand all of these capabilities, a platform which inherits these capabilities, that is Algomox, will be also introduced to you. Later, we're going to end this discussion with a good customer success story. So let's just move ahead. First, to establish why the wall between IT and security exists, we must focus on how they traditionally function. So traditionally, IT role has always been focusing on business continuity, keeping systems available, uptime, reliability, performance optimization, making sure the operations that are being carried out in the organization meet the SLAs, carrying out processes like change management, capacity planning, so on and so forth. And on the other hand, traditionally security role has always been protecting the data, safeguarding the data, threat detection, vulnerability management, implementing policies such as access control, etc. If I have to sum it up in simple words, we can say that IT has always ensured everything is running, and security has always ensured that nothing bad happens while it is running. Next, if we have to understand historically how IT and security drifted apart, we have to understand that each organization, in every vertical follows a certain set of defined KPIs. In our case, if we focus on IT has been always influenced with the KPIs such as uptime, performance, business continuity, SLA, as you can see on your screen right now. And security teams have been always focusing on KPIs such as compliance, risk management, threat detection, data protection, etc. For this, these teams also use platforms such as the IT teams use platforms such as monitoring tools like SolarWinds, ServiceNow Jira for ITSM, CMDB, network performance monitoring tools, applications log, etc. Security teams, on the other hand, might use tools like Splunk for SIM, EDR, XDR, threat detection tools, vulnerability scanners, so on and so forth. And if we look over here, both the teams are right in their own space. But the problem that is happening in the organization is that they're working in silos, and these are creating the blind spots in the organization. Next, but in reality, if we see, it's actually an overlap of the working of IT and security. Like in a hybrid cloud AI-driven environment, every IT failure can be a security trigger. Every security anomaly can be rooted in an IT misconfiguration. It could be anything. Today, attack surfaces have expanded drastically. Context is now distributed across teams, and it's not just limited to one single team. To understand this in a much simpler way, let's just take few examples which are very easy to understand. A CPU spike. Primarily, such things are considered as a IT issue, a CPU spike, but it can be also an activity of crypto mining, which is related to security and issues such as an authentication anomaly. Someone is trying to log in and it's not they are not able to log into the system. Probably that is something a security concern, or maybe it's just an app failure or incident where network traffic spike. Two possibilities over here, like it may be a DDoS attack or maybe a misconfigured automation job. So these help us to understand that the boundaries have collapsed completely, and so the investigation zone must be shared, or the incidents will be, as usual, slow, fragmented, and at a higher risk. This brings me to the point of urgency and why the unification is needed now and more than ever. As we understood before, traditionally the automation used to be always rule based, but this always caused silos in the organization of the working of the IT and the security. Some of its part is covered through AI-driven intelligence, wherein the functionalities such as context awareness, correlation across domains, and the capability of reasoning like human was inculcated in the organization. But today is the time of agentic AI, wherein processes are not just limited to context awareness or correlation across domains, but actually acting on it. Reasoning, not just reasoning like human, but collaborating intelligently across the domains and actually functioning workflows. To understand this in a much simple way, I would like to consider our very previous example, which we started this webinar, which was slowing down of an important business application. Let's just carry that example here. Traditionally, what AIOps would have done is that it would have detected the anomaly, it would have generated an alert, and all the teams must be would have been notified, and it would have waited for a human to diagnose it. And this usually takes around 20 to 40 minutes before anyone knows what's actually wrong in the system. And what differently agentic AI does is that firstly it tries to understand the issue, it detects the issue. Like the agent notices application latency increasing beyond normal baseline, like the threshold is already crossed. Okay, the issue has been detected over here. The next step is understanding the context. And this can be also said like investigating by correlating events such as application logs, infrastructure metrics, network traffic, security events. When these information is correlated, a thorough investigation is done by the agent, and it identifies that maybe there was a CPU spike and which is caused due to unauthorized process running on the server. So now it knows that it's not just limited to IT or security, but it's an overlap. And what's the next best step that the agent does is that it can either terminate the unauthorized process, isolate the affected services instance, check if the performance is back to the normal. And after performing all these activities, it just notifies the security teams and IT teams with full context of whatever steps it had taken. And even if the outcome is something which is not fitting right into the guidelines of the organization, a human analyst later can improve the remediation steps, and the agent will just simply learn and apply these methods whenever next time such an incident occurs. It's as simple as that. What's the ultimate result of it is that issues are detected and resolved in under like 30 seconds. No war room is created in the organization, no back and forth of IT and security, and no downtime for the customers. This is the core agentic AIOps, and which is not just detecting problems, but understanding, acting, and evolving autonomously. With setting up this context, I think this is the right time to hand it over to Anil to explain these capabilities and functionalities in the Algomox platform. So, Anil, over to you.
Thanks, Pushkar. So, hope you can hear me properly. Okay, so if you must can share my slides. Hope you can see my screen. Okay. So, my name is Anil, and thanks everyone for joining today. And I am the co-founder and CEO of Algomox. And so, I have almost 28 years of experience in the IT industry. I spent around 16 years with HP OpenView. Then I spent around 5 years with Mindtree. Then I started this company in 2018 with the objective of applying artificial intelligence into IT and cybersecurity. I just kind of look at that from the holistically and look at the IT environment currently today and how it is evolving over a period of time. And if you recall earlier days, okay, we can see only on-premise data centers, and it's everything is in the inside the building and maybe inside a room or a data center place, and it should be always kind of reachable for every people who are dealing with the IT support. And but over a period of time, things are changed. Cloud comes and multiple cloud provider comes. The IT becomes spreading across multiple geographies, and the offices are expanded beyond the reachability of the traditional teams. And become a completely hybrid infrastructure. And on top of that, once the microservices and the distributed edge comes, and IT and OT are kind of getting connected together, and everything will be kind of really kind of becoming complex, and it's called a multi-environment chaos. And this chaotic environment create a lot of problems for both IT team and the security team, because they don't even know what exactly happening in the environment, and they all needs kind of a holistic view of the entire system, but it's literally impossible for them. And this causes the entire operation, not only IT operation, the security operations also in a very disconnected form. And there is, okay, so one guy will be operating in silos and other guy will be doing something else. And all these things cause us a really, really difficulty as well as the inefficiency in the system. And then because of that one, what will they will do is, okay, they will bring lot more tools. So they will bring tool A, tool B for security, tool C, tool D for IT. And these tools are coming from multiple vendors, and these tools are not at all integrated. And at the end, okay, you have the complex environment and you have the silos of operations, you have the multiple tools, everything result into a high level of mean time to repair. And the incidents coming into the system are kind of repetitive incident because one tool will detect one set of incidents and the same set of incident will be detected by the another tools. Everything will be pushed into the multiple teams bucket, and it is very very difficult for them to kind of work on prioritized tasks and create meaningful result for the organization. And at the end, everyone will be firefighting, everyone will be struggling. So that's the current situation. Then how we can move forward with the current situation is the question. So we when we start with AIOps, and if the AIOps is not sufficient for us to kind of manage the entire operations. And if you look at application of simple models and application of the simple rules and thresholds are not sufficient. So because the IT environment is continuously changing and the changes are sometimes comes in the hourly level. Okay, for example, somebody may be pushing a new application or somebody may be changing regularly. Maybe configuration will be changed. Attacks are more. That firewall rules are changing and the contexts are changing. There are so many changes continuously happening in the environment, and that causes the entire IT as well as the cybersecurity teams always in the blind spot, and they are kind of getting into the really alert fatigue situations as well as the alert blindness situation. These two are the situation where which, okay, they cannot even kind of think forward, and they cannot even do the systematic problem analysis, understand what is the continuous incidents and figuring out, okay, what needs to be done, and that will kind of clearly create problem for them. And then there everything will be kind of escalated to the L3 level and senior management level. So these are the bigger challenge for them, and it always create bigger kind of inefficiencies and problems with the senior management as well. So that's where we need to kind of get into a more dynamic system, more dynamic IT operations integrated with the cyber security, because every cyber security problem is solved through an IT change. Most of the time, it's kind of either at least 90% of the cybersecurity issues are solved through IT changes, or even many times the most of the cybersecurity problems are created through this cybersecurity, the IT changes as well. So that's where we need to look at how we can use next generation AI. This is the agentic AI, and this will help to kind of grow from the current model or the current SOP based issues resolution to self-learning based AI agents to agent driven activities. And the advantage of that one is, okay, the AI agent can reason better, and AI agent can help the team, the both security team as well as the IT team, to do their job very effectively. And because of its cognitive reasoning capability, autonomy capability, and it can be like your team member sitting along with you, and it is not a tool for you. Okay, it's kind of, it is your helping hand, or it is your part of your team member. Okay, that's where it kind of moving from the script based or this SOP based to the self learning based AI agent. And these outcomes are kind of provides self corrections and explain it's what why it is happening, and helping you to debug and triage the problem very fast, and helping you to resolve the problem very fast. So that era is come, and we are also need to kind of look at that IT organization and cybersecurity team to kind of look at holistically their blind spots, their operational synergy areas, as well as make sure you guys can kind of work together as a team instead of operating in silos, and understand who is the person to lead an issue resolution activity rather than pointing each other in a war room. So that's where we bring into the agentic AI into the situation, and this will help to kind of bring a new AIOps framework instead of observe, engage, and act. This kind of a changing from that models to observe, reason, act, and learn. So observe is continue to evolve, and observe will be understand at better level, where which okay, it can look at everything which is human beings are looking at, and when the at the scale of the speed of the problem. Or for example, if you are getting 200 problems per day, you can scale up to 200 problems. But a human being cannot do that because of the fatigue associated with that one. So the observability can be enhanced with the agentic AIOps, and then agentic AIOps can do the reasoning, which is understanding what exactly the root cause of the problem in real time and act on it. And that act, observe, reason, and act will be a feeder for the next generation model creation, which will be happening in automatically with the system. It's kind of an adaptive learning happening. So it's a observe and reason, and it's understand what exactly happening, correlate anomalies, correlate that with the business impact and the root causes, then act on it, and orchestrate different workflows, remediate it automatically, and then learn from that in such a way that that can be applied in future for the same situation, or using that for doing the transfer learning mechanism. And transfer learning is the similar situation, and the most of the problems are similar in nature, but it's not exactly same in nature. Okay, so that's where the transfer learning techniques can be applied to kind of get into the next generation IT operations and cybersecurity. So let me introduce the core component of the our portfolio. It's called Nora. It's your teammate, and it's a context-aware virtual SRE. It's a agentic AI, Gen AI technology-enabled system, and it uses built-in RAG, then reinforcement learning, and with the human feedback and deep reinforcement learning orchestration models. These are the core component with the capabilities for understanding IT systems and IT data set, because we build our own LLM, which is IT specific LLM. And it can have a conversational interface with your end users and your teams, as well as it can have an integration with existing monitoring systems in such a way that it can understand the intent and context and operational scenarios, and it can engage with the chat, email, voice, and console. And it can manage tickets, it can manage incidents, change approvals, policy enforcement, learn from the organization specific knowledge and SOPs over a period of time. And it can kind of apply that one for a different kinds of scenarios using transfer learning, and it can solve a lot of problems which are unknown scenario in the occurrence of that type. Okay, so it's kind of a evolution as well as adaptive system for your IT operation, and this will be providing you a better way to manage the current problems rather than you are stuck in the old scenario with depending on people to figure it out what exactly happening in the system. The second component is called IT mocks. So this is our the traditional AIOps, but it has kind of orchestrated through an intelligence layer, and it is triggered with Nora. So it's kind of enhancing the traditional observability, traditional engagement and automation with a unified layer, and it has a comprehensive telemetry capability. It can interact with any system irrespective of the environment, like a cloud or even on-premise or a hybrid environment. It can interact with the system, it can interact with the databases, applications, network, etc. And it uses machine learning to detect the anomalies, RCAs, and then it's kind of a design based out of the models, and automate different actions or even remediation steps from both IT side as well as the SecOps side. Because of it has a 360-degree view, and it can understand where exactly needs to be pinpoint and orchestrate it. So let me combine the NORA and IT ops, and this is where the agentic AIOps in action comes. Okay, so with what exactly doing is, okay, it merges IT and security through cognitive collaboration, and it has an incident identification, and it has a mechanism to address that through a unified data models, and these data models are AI models, and it's a mix of model in the model farm, and that model varies from the analytics and inference detection models to action models through the deep reinforcement learning, and it can learn from the human beings and feedbacks, and as well as the data set it creates, and that learning is continuous and ongoing basis, and that will give a better way to kind of address us the synergy between IT and security operations team, and into a single console based operations, and that will help them to resolve the problems very quickly and reduces the mean time to repair, as well as reduces the detection as well as remediation too. So let me kind of a little bit step back from the integration perspective. Maybe look at that from the what we are kind of doing the observability side. Okay, so the observability traditionally it's good in every organization because already there are a lot of EDRs, SIMs, and endpoints, and collection logs and traces and matrices. Normally people are collect, but these all are collected by individual tools, and it's reside in individual tools at the granular level, and bringing everything together and creating a more meaningful inferences from everywhere. The data is kind of a silo data, but correlate that one from the context of a topology, from the context of the organization, from the context of the problem domain, from the context of the attack surface, from the context of the topology. So all these things matters a lot, because if you look at that from the multiple context, the security data and IT data having lot more meaning rather than looking at individually. So that's where the next generation observability give you very clear performance issues to threat indicators. And this is not available with every tools because every tools operate under silos, and it will give you some perspective of that one, but that perspectives are not enough for you to identify the right level of inferences and right level of identification of the problem. So what exactly it brings for you? It's a one pane, a single pane glass view of the entire both teams. It's IT team as well as the security team. It's a unified command center. We can say it's an integrated knock and sock, and it provides integrated dashboards, and it gives you a AI-driven RCA. So the moment you drill down and see, okay, what exactly the root cause of the problem, and it gives you the alignment between the teams, because it will tell, okay, the root cause will tell this is the something which IT team needs to work, or this is something security team needs to work. The clarity of the ownership is very clearly defined because of the RCA will tell exactly or map exactly the where we need to act on it, and that will give the ownership. And then once you have the ownership in place, then people will not point each other, and the activities will be kind of localized to the right team and the right team member, and they can act very quickly, and then it will provide guided troubleshooting tips and SOPs for them to kind of act on it, and they can do that action or the responses to the problems very quickly. So it's kind of an integrated perspective which gives the team alignment, and it gives the multiple system visibility, and provides a single pane glass view or 360-degree view, which will ensure that that is a unified command center of the next generation integrated knock and soak for you. Customer case study. So this is a NBFC. It's a small microfinancing organization, Kolkata-based company, and they have 3 shifts. And their bigger challenge is the security issues, finding RCA of the security problems, as well as managing their help desk. It's kind of both help desk issues as well as the security issues, because it's a BFSI company. The security is very, very important, and the RBI compliance requirements and other things are there. So they cannot leave the people away. And it's kind of a very difficult to get the right people for them. It's a small organization and huge or the large number of noise events coming. And then there people are completely burnout. And it's a burnout is a very, very regular scenario for them. And they wanted to kind of get rid of all kinds of mundane tasks using human being, because the human being needs to be provided enough bandwidth to address the key concerns and issues, and working on strategic projects. And they never get any time for the strategic projects. So that's where they come to us. And we could able to provide a very seamless automated solution. And this automated solution able to detect issues both IT side as well as security side. And that's where they get a guided troubleshooting help from our tool. And that will help them to solve the problems very quickly and focus on that problem solution rather than working on a lot of noises. And second, their L1 activities, that is very simple activities for them, but they need a dedicated people over 3 shifts, and they have a lot of queries coming on regularly. And we provide a mechanism to deflect it, and we provide a mechanism to self-serve, as well as we could able to automate, remediate, and fulfill those requests very quickly in such a way that the turnaround time from the L1 team reduced to seconds and minutes, and rather than hours and days. So that's the advantage which comes from the L1 help desk automation, and along with the aggressive detection of the problem and the root causes, and which will help them to kind of focus on what exactly the team needs to be focused on, instead of firefighting on multiple things and noises. The second case study is a high-tech scenario. This is where the huge technology lab, where which they were using it for their customers to explore their product. And the challenge they have faced is observability challenge and regular attack, because it will be exposed to multiple people. People will get access to their machines. Sometimes the software they are putting may having some challenges, because not fully tested things. The beta versions of the software are going, and security concerns were there. So these are the situations where which entire infrastructure, entire trial infrastructure get exposed to the end users. And not only that, so there are many people will be starting these instances but never close it, because they may try it for 1 or 2 hours, then they stop it, then they will subscribe it for weeks and months to kind of explore it. And it's kind of a lot of misuse or the ideal scenarios for them, as well as they are getting exposed to the lot of people through these systems. And this system can be kind of, one system access is there, then it can have easily get into the other system. So there's a security concerns for them. There is a lot of kind of unused capacity optimization challenges they have. Sometimes they need a lot of capacity enhancement needed. They need to base in the cloud, and observability is a key concern for them. And managing at scale 8,000 plus VMs regularly is a key concern for them. A lot of tickets per day it creates because of 5 tools they are using, and that also a concern for them. So multiple concerns we could able to automate and resolve their issues very quickly with our tool, with the help of Nora and ITMOS. Okay, so then let me kind of summarize it. Okay, what exactly the people are getting from the outcome perspective. So the MTTR reduction is the key, because we are providing more inferences and root causes, and it can reduce the load. Okay, and it can vary from it's a 1/3 of reduction, or sometimes even fully automation is there. It will be reduced a lot, because the no debugging is needed also sometimes. Then the cost of operation is reduced a lot, because it's taken very less time, and time is the function of the cost, and that is reduced. And ticket volume reduced, because it's a deflect, it automate, and it correlates, and all these things will be reduces the number of tickets coming into the team. And the human escalation, it's very much reduced. Okay, it's because so we are able to kind of provide more meaningful inferences, as well as the people can resolve the issues on time. and that reduces a lot. And the compliance gaps are also reduced. It's become a more predictive management rather than reactive management. So then, so let me put it as a call to action, like, okay, why you need to choose Algomox? There's a difference here. And so I have explored all kinds of products. Even when I was in Mindtree, I have tried with all kinds of products. And when we are in HP, so we are developing all these streams of products. And I understand the limitations of this product. And with that experience, we build it. And we build it as a unified ecosystem. And the ITOM, and ITSM are the bedrock, and we build on top of that one. We have our own plat components for these areas, but we have additional automation capabilities, additional the analytics capabilities, which will help us to provide a unified ecosystem, coexist with your existing system, as well as completely replacing your existing system. It's a complete solution. It's Nora is a human-like interactions, and ITMOX provide deep observability. And on top of that one, we'll provide an Algo SOC. This is a managed automation service. It's a short-term service, which we come to you with the objective of identifying low-hanging automation scenarios, and we could able to automate the same. And similarly, we have a track record in banking, manufacturing, IT service, and telecom. And we have a lot more measurable. Even automotive is the one area where which now it's seeing lot of activities are going on. And we have one of the Chennai-based company, and they are automating almost 90 of their use cases, and that reduces almost 93% of their time, and getting a ROI within one of 50% plus within an year itself. So that's the kind of the advantage people are perceiving with automation, and definitely it is kind of a worth trying it out. It's not for kind of a releasing people, using the people which are really kind of working on the mundane task, and firefighting, and really kind of people fatigue with respect to the even volume. So they can be do more strategic and more meaningful projects, and they will be also happy because they are learning something new rather than wasting their career and time on already learned things, and very difficult for them to kind of do things on whatever they are regularly doing, but it's under pressure. It's kind of create a lot of trouble for them. So that's the kind of an advantage which is kind of bringing into the table, and definitely it should be a kind of a new approach or a new point of view for us to kind of bring these kinds of solutions into the picture. So thanks for the time, and there's some issue with my camera. Sorry for that issue. So I'm stopping here for answering any questions.
Yeah. So Anil and Pushkar, thank you for such an insightful session. So, so here I'll declare that this session has been concluded over here. So why choose Secure Cloud now? Because Secure Cloud believes in creating an impact through delivering a consumer grade employee experience. Because we know that right nowadays employee needs services as soon as possible and to be smoother and at their convenience. So Secure Cloud helps in that. Secondly, Secure Cloud also simplifies the tedious traditional compliance procedures that any organization and enterprise is going through since years. And Secure Cloud also helps in saving asset cost, like in saving software cost, hardware cost, clouds, and tool cost. Secure Cloud also helps in reducing onboarding timelines because in some organizations, through the traditional methods, it takes days and years to onboard some tools and to onboard any cloud and any digitization. So Secure Cloud helps there to reduce that process. And next is we believe in deliver more in lesser time. So there also Secure Cloud plays very important role in increasing our service delivery output. And Like I said earlier, that through our engagement with the technology partners like Algomox, Freshworks, and DevRev, they allow us for constant innovation. So that is our USP altogether. So now we are open to receive some question and answers if there are any. And also, Anil, there are some questions in chat box. If you can answer them, then anybody,
Yeah,
am I
I think
audible?
Ronit already answered. Okay. So,
Okay.
but I will give my perspective to that one. Okay. So if you look at the first question, so what happened if Nora and IT Mox makes wrong decisions? Can humans still stay in control? Yeah. So this is what it is. Okay. So you can put gates, and so Nora and IT Mox can detect and wait with you and kind of put that. Actions with your permission and do it, or approval and do it. That's option number one. And there are some actions which are not creating harm for you. For example, one attacker comes and blocking that applications, and it immediately kind of providing a traceability and kind of separating or kind of detaching that issues from the rest of the system is an immediate requirement, and human being is not need to be there in that action at all, but it is fully traceable, it's fully explainable. It's the right terminology in AI. It's called explainability. We record everything what we are doing in the system, and its traceability is 100% available. Explainability is 100% available, and so ethical behavior is 100% ensured. So all these concepts are in place with our tools, and definitely human being have full control on what exactly happening in the system. And the next question was, okay, 70% of incidents need joint IT security actions. And even I don't know, it's maybe more than 70% of the incidents needed. Because see, there's a huge overlap between security and IT. And but traditionally the teams are segregated, but now the convergence is happening. And the convergence is happening because of the technologies are converging, and the IT teams are really kind of coming under security organization. And the security organization is the key organization everywhere, because of the AI is really pushing different kinds of security concerns. And it's AI in good hand is good, but bad hand is very bad. Okay, so organizations are need to look at this very quickly, and every organizations priority should be integrating IT and security, because everything in the security most of the time it's fixed through IT. And so the integration and a holistic view of the things are earlier missing, but the overlap is really a kind of a concern for now, and overlap has to be addressed very quickly. That's my perspective. So any other questions?